Hello and welcome to Odds on Bundesliga, tips and predictions for the 19th match day after many surprises in the first match day of the year with Bayern Munich losing. So let's see what Radek Vegas can tell us, and don't forget of course to leave your comments and press the like and subscribe to our channel. And now let's go on with the show. Second match day of this 2022 in Bundesliga, Radek, and we saw many surprises. We saw Bayern Munich losing at home, and this is very odd.
Yeah, and as I told you last game day, I won't bet on this game day a lot because it was the first game day after a break. We have winter, we had to have some COVID cases, and that Bayern Munich loses against this week Gladbach shows that, yeah, it's just pure gambling, and it's better just bet on maybe underdogs, or I had only one really good bet at draw between Frankfurt and Borussia Dortmund, which was right for 1 minute, and then Dortmund won this game. Good for the league that Dortmund won this game, so it's interesting in the title fight, and let's see how they perform on Friday against Freiburg at home.
So let's start for that game on Friday, Dortmund-Freiburg. You mentioned how Dortmund came back against Frankfurt in the last minutes of the games. At home, we always trust them much more. 8 victories, only 1 defeat. And Freiburg, I was also very surprised after taking the lead 2-0 against Bielefeld. They couldn't win, only a draw.
Yeah, and that's why it should be a sure thing at home for Borussia Dortmund to win this game. In the first game of the season, Dortmund had problems at Freiburg, and funny fact, the last 2 games Freiburg won against Dortmund, but at their home in Freiburg, both 2-1, and the last game in Dortmund, Borussia Dortmund won 4-0. And after not beating Bielefeld, I think the momentum is shifted clearly to Dortmund in this situation. They have odds of 1.55, which in my eyes is too low and too dangerous to bet on. I like Freiburg's style of playing, and I can imagine that they will score a goal here. So I think Dortmund will win this game at the end, maybe 2-1 or maybe 3-1, as they conceded 2 goals against Frankfurt. They were behind most of the game against Frankfurt, and that they won this game at the end can be shift to momentum for them as well, as I said, and that's why I think they might win, but I like to bet on both teams to score here more, because you get odds of 1.7 for this, and as we've seen in the Bundesliga, it's highly likely that both teams can score, because both mostly both teams are concentrating in scoring goals and not too much in defending. Freiburg is a bit of dangerous in the defense because they are one of the best defending teams, but surely they have their strengths more at home, and it's nearly impossible that Borussia Dortmund is not scoring against them at home.
Both teams to score. Then, if someone trusts Borussia Dortmund, Asian handicap -1 for them is 1.9 if you want higher odds for the home team. Then on Saturday we have Cologne, Bayern Munich, after that very surprising defeat of Bayern Munich with many players that we are not used to see, we have to say, with Bayern Munich playing at the beginning of the game. Now they are facing Cologne, a team that is in really great form. It won't be easy for Bayern Munich, I guess, this game. 3 victories in a row for Cologne.
Yes, and now they're on spot 6. Imagine that they could have been in League 2 close after their relegation game last season, and now they're performing for the international spots. This is big surprise and well deserved, and I said last game that I hope that they have a chance in Hertha. They won 3-1 and scored 3 goals. That's amazing. And yeah, they're even better at home than they are on away pitches. Only one defeat at home for Cologne. And as we've seen, Bayern Munich losing against Gladbach, this is also possible against Cologne at this situation. That's why betting on Bayern Munich with odds of 1.4 is no option at all here. The Asian handicap on Cologne plus 1.5 gives us odds of 2.0. This is a really high speculative and dangerous bet, but for Cologne fans it's worth a little bet maybe. But I'm not really good to bet against Bayern Munich because it's kind of an emotional thing. I'm living about 2 miles to the arena, and that's my hometown, so I don't bet against Bayern Munich. But I can understand if there are Cologne fans who think it's a possible thing that Cologne is not losing big. Maybe they can even make a point. What I don't like are the odds on both teams to score, only 1.57. And the goal market on over 3.5 goals is also not really attractive here. So as we always or often see, there is not a lot of value in games with Bayern Munich. As I am an X guy, I really think it's possible that there will be a draw in this game. And in my eyes, it's better to chase big odds than so-called safe small odds, because they are never safe. And that's why I like the X here in this game. You get odds of 6.1 at 1xBet. Maybe compare the odds on Oddspedia. Maybe you get even higher odds if the game is closer. And we see some personal changes in this game. But 6.1 for this draw here is really attractive. And as I always do, I divide my unit through the amount of the odd. So 1 through 6 is about 1.5, and I would bet, if I regularly bet 10 euro, I would bet €1.50 on this draw. Or if you bet 100 euro, then I would bet 15 euro on this draw, and I win 1 unit if this is correct. And I think this is a real good investment, because you have to think like an investor in sports betting, and we have a huge chance that Bayern Munich is not really playing good, and we have a huge reward with the XBet. So I think it's worth a try.
All right, let's try it out. Then the draw. Also on Saturday we have Mainz, Bochum. Now these teams are in the middle of the table after a great start of the season for Mainz. Away they are not performing well. They lost to Leipzig and Frankfurt, but be careful because they are the 5th best team at home in the Bundesliga. That's why probably they are so favorites when they are facing Bochum, a newly promoted team that also performing great, Radek, in this 2022 with the victory against Wolfsburg.
Yes, this was an interesting game, and not because it was very beautiful to watch with only 1 goal, but if an underdog like Bochum is able to beat a team like Wolfsburg, who was one of the maybe Champions League teams, they are playing Champions League, or they played Champions League. So yeah, Wolfsburg is in trouble, but Bochum does a good job, and they also collected a point at home against Borussia Dortmund. But the other side is that they are not really good away. So only 2 victories away in 9 games and 6 goals away. That is not something you have to be afraid of. And as you mentioned, on the other side, Mainz only collected 5 goals at home, only 1 defeat. So this all leads to these odds we see here. Mainz is the favorite with 1.75. And if you watch this channel sometimes, and you might know that I never bet on favorite odds under 2, or really not often, and I don't like odds under 2 on favorites like Mainz, because in a situation like that, when Mainz loses 2 games in a row, I think they do not deserve a role of favorite, and Bochum might have some good form in there and some good chemistry. That's not a sure thing for Mainz here, and I think the odds on 4 for a draw here is also good. I would bet 25% of a unit. As I said before, if you bet €100, only bet €25 on this draw. And then I think it's a good chance reward ratio as we talk as stock market investors as well.
All right, then we have Stuttgart, Leipzig. Stuttgart still in danger. They couldn't beat Furth playing away, the worst team in the Bundesliga. But now they are facing Leipzig. I guess, Radek, it's time for Leipzig to win also away. They beat Mainz. This is a good result for Tedesco. But away, they are the second worst team in Bundesliga, and this is very odd.
Yeah, and if they can't win against this Stuttgart team, then I don't know what's up with Leipzig, and I don't know why they couldn't win 1 game in 8 away games so far, only scoring 5 goals, and completely different at home, scoring 29 goals at home. That's 6 times more than away, and this is unbelievable, and so every bad streak has to come to an end. They can't perform a bad away every game day, so yeah, against these Stuttgart players, they have to win this game. The odds are not bad, but also not really good. It's kind of in the middle, 1.74. I personally don't bet on this, but I suggest you to bet on this if you want to bet on every game, as some comments were that I didn't give enough picks, so I can say, yeah, you can bet on it. I don't bet on it.
We have odds, as you mentioned, 1.74 for Leipzig to win. If you want Asian handicap for Leipzig, -1. Odds 2.3. If someone wants higher odds, that they also ask us sometimes more conservative bets or more risky ones. So you have also the Asian handicap for Leipzig. Our next game is very interesting. We have Union Berlin, Hoffenheim, 2 teams that are doing great this season. Hoffenheim, 3rd after beating Augsburg, coming back. They conceded first. They are in great streak. Last 7 games, 5 victories, 2 draws, but it won't be easy winning in the capital. It's another team that is doing a great season, very close to European spots like Union Berlin, who didn't lose against Leverkusen. That's why, Radek, if we check the odds, it's basically the same odds for Union Berlin to win, Hoffenheim to win, and even the draw doesn't pay that much.
Yeah, because it's obvious that we have 2 teams where you can't say who will win this game. Maybe on a good day, I think Union Berlin is slightly favorite because they are more stable at home than Hoffenheim is away. And just have a look at the standings. Union Berlin only lost 1 game at home in 9 games, and Hoffenheim lost 4 games away in 9 games, so conceded 18 goals away. Union Berlin only conceded 8 goals at home, so this leads me that I see there's a more value on the home team, and because I don't trust Hoffenheim at all, and they are really overperforming, that they are in position 3 is kind of ridiculous, and it shows how insane this Bundesliga season so far is, and Hoffenheim is a team in my eyes which belongs to position 10 or 8 maximum, and not in the Champions League. So yeah, there has to be a correction, and that's why Union Berlin has to keep at least 1 point at home. We're good because the odds on Union Berlin are that high. We can save the draw with a bet on draw no bet. We get odds of 2.0 around for Union Berlin. And if this game is a draw, it won't be any surprise, and we don't lose money, we get our money back. And if Union Berlin wins this game, we win this bet with odds of 2.0. So Asian handicap 0 or draw no bet means the same, and I like this on Union Berlin.
Okay, we saw Hoffenheim not long time ago, actually in the Champions League with Nagelsmann, but that was long time ago. Was more recent to see Wolfsburg, as you mentioned before, in the Champions League even this season. But now they are very close to the relegation spots. Now they are facing Hertha Berlin, probably, Radek, the two biggest disappointments in this season in the Bundesliga. We expected them way higher, and Wolfsburg, they lost the last 6 games. So it's not working with Van Bommel, not working with 𝐿𝐭𝐴𝐽, and now the odds are very low, in my opinion. Only 2.0 for Wolfsburg to win against Hertha.
Yeah, and both teams changed their coaches in the season, and it really didn't get any better. So I think it's another proof that it's not the best option to fire the coach within a season, because it's not really getting better in most of the cases. And as we see in Wolfsburg, it's really getting worse with 𝐿𝐭𝐴𝐽, and that's kind of unbelievable as well, because Wolfsburg has a high potential squad, really good players, young talented players who are national team players for Germany or youth national team players, and one of the best Bundesliga strikers with 𝐜𝐿𝐴𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐜 Vegas, but they're not able to win games, so long streaks, and this is really a psychological thing of Wolfsburg, because everyone is sure that these players can play soccer or football, and they don't show it. On the other hand, Hertha, it's only seems they are only good against teams where they have to win, or against teams where they might have no chance, like they won against Borussia Dortmund in the last game before Christmas. But now they lost at home against Cologne, so I won't bet a cent on Hertha in this game, and I also won't bet a cent on Wolfsburg. So this leads to a draw in my eyes, but I also won't put money on teams where I don't like, and I'm not really happy with both. So I would say I can imagine this is a low scoring game with under 2.5 goals. We get odds of 1.98. I would say this is a 1-1 or 0-0 game, because both are highly sick in their head maybe, and so they don't want to lose this game, but they're not able to score goals, and that's why betting on a draw is an option, or betting on under 2.5 goals with odds of around 2.0.
Also interesting, the next one, Gladbach Leverkusen. We always speak about the curse of beating Bayern Munich, then you lose the game, and Gladbach is a nightmare for bettors, because they are able to beat Bayern Munich, they are able to lose at home 0-6 against Freiburg, for instance, and with Leverkusen, it's a team of strikes, and now they are in a bad one, 4 winless games. Last game was the draw against Union Berlin.
Yes, and because it's winter, and I like this, because I say this every year, that Leverkusen is just too weak in the winter, and they won't survive if they are Leonardo DiCaprio in the movie Revenant. I have to watch it. I watched this 2 days ago. That's why I think Leverkusen would have died in the first second of this movie, while Other teams maybe are better in the winter, like Bochum, or I don't know why this is like this, but that's why it's hard to bet on Leverkusen in this game. After Gladbach seems to be kind of alive again, and they're playing at home, and I would say the value is kind of more on the home team now. But we all know how bad Gladbach was playing in some games in this season, and I think a lot of people lost a lot of money betting on Gladbach in the early stage of the season, because they were one of the teams which were considered to be in international spots, and then they lost some really kind of easy games, and winning against Bayern Munich in the cup game showed that they have high potential, and now winning against Bayern Munich again. But yeah, as you mentioned, there could be a curse. I really don't believe in this curse, but it's hard to say, and I would bet on 𝐬𝐭𝐴𝐺𝐴 on Gladbach here if money is not a thing. If you only have not that much money, I wouldn't waste money on this game. What I like is over goals, but there are bad odds. Both teams to score, only 1.5, also bad. So in my eyes, it's better not to bet on small odds. But if you like to, maybe you win this game, bet, but in the long run you won't be profitable. Won't make a lot of money with small odds.
We expect goals, and imagine also the bookies over 2.5 goals only pays 1.5.
Yeah, the most interesting bet for the ones who like high risk and low money to bet on, like I do from time to time, watching on Asian handicap -1 on Gladbach maybe. As I told you, Leverkusen is bad in the winter. Gladbach can continue their streak at home and win with about 2 goals in advantage. You get odds of 3.8 for Asian handicap -1 on Gladbach. This is by far more interesting betting a small amount on this high odd than betting a lot of money on small odds in my eyes.
All right, then we have 2 games on Sunday. First one, Augsburg, Frankfurt. Augsburg in playoff positions to go to Bundesliga 2 after their last defeat. And Frankfurt is a team that we like a lot recently. They were this close also to beat Dortmund with 2 goals of Santos Borré. They were coming from 3 consecutive victories. And if we still trust Frankfurt, odds are 2.29.
Yeah, and this is kind of a good offer because, everything you said, Frankfurt is really a good team, and not winning against Dortmund is a bit silly because they were leading almost the whole game, and in the last minutes they lost this game, and I think this was because of their stamina. They didn't have the power to fight back against Haaland and co. But Augsburg is by far not as good as Dortmund, and that's why Frankfurt should win this game or at least make 1 point. That's the maximum I think Augsburg can do. We have to be aware because Augsburg was beating Bayern Munich at home and keeping 1 point against Leipzig at home about 4 weeks ago. Losing against Hoffenheim at Hoffenheim is a different thing than playing at home in their stadium, but at the end it's just a mathematical thing that we get good odds on Frankfurt here, and I think it's worth to bet on Frankfurt victory 2.25 here.
And the last game, danger. The worst two teams in Bundesliga, Bielefeld, Furth. But the thing is that Bielefeld is super favorite for this game, odds around 2, because they are in great form. They drew against Freiburg, they beat Leipzig, they beat Bochum, only 2 defeats in the last 8 games. And Furth, they are horrible when they are playing away. The worst team so far in the Bundesliga with 9 defeats, only 6 goals scored. So I guess everything leads to a home victory here.
Yeah, and this is kind of freaky that we see Bielefeld on spot 17 after this run you mentioned. But at the end, they are playing a lot of draws. They are not really winning a lot of goals. Only 1 victory at home for Bielefeld and 5 draws in 9 games. And so I'm really not confident betting on Bielefeld as a favorite. Yeah, no matter who's the opponent, even if they play against a team in the 3rd or 4th league in the cup game, I won't say Bielefeld is a favorite, and because they are not. They need the pressure. They need to play against good teams, and I think Furth is also not that bad as we've seen them in 90% of the games in this season, but as we've seen some good results of them in the last games with 2 draws and keeping a draw against Borussia Dortmund long time of the game, and also winning against Union Berlin, and this is not that bad, and so I'm far away from saying Bielefeld is a sure winner here, because they are not. Betting on a draw is an option, 3.8, and as we've seen in the last games of Furth, there were not many goals, 2-0 in a row. So if you like this trend, I think betting on under 2.5 goals is for sure not bad, because we get odds of 1.98, almost 2. If there are 1-1, 2-0, I don't think any team is scoring a lot goals here. Might be wrong, but yeah, under 2.5 is the best bet in this game, I think.
All right, then Radek, we have all the games analyzed. Can you tell me an ACCA for this weekend?
Yeah, if we concentrate only on the good teams in a good run and with good odds, we have limited our games to 2 or 3. I would say betting on Union Berlin, double chance. If I bet, I always bet only single bets, because I think ACCA's yes, kind of gambling, but I understand everyone who's just betting for fun likes ACCA's, and that's why betting a small amount of money on more games makes football attractive to watch. That's why Union Berlin double chance in an ACCA and Union Berlin Asian Handicap 0 in a single bet. And I would combine this with the strength of Eintracht Frankfurt not losing at Augsburg. Single bet winning on Frankfurt in a double bet or ACCA. I would just bet the way that if there's a draw, I won't lose the whole ACCA, and we get Asian Handicap 0 on Frankfurt with odds of 1.6. And combine this with Union Berlin double chance would give us complete odds of around 3 or maybe 2.5. And yeah, these 2 games I would combine. If you want to have a third one to combine, I would say Asian Handicap 0 on Leipzig at Stuttgart, because I think yeah, Leipzig is good in shape again, and they are yeah, they have to win their first game away. But I would bet on Asian Handicap 0. You get low odds of 1.3, but you can boost your complete odd of your 𝐬𝐭𝐴 with that, and your 𝐬𝐭𝐴 won't be breaking if there's a draw in these games. So always be aware of the draws, or make it like me, just only bet on draws. And my favorite draw bet on this game day would maybe be a high risk bet on Cologne versus Bayern Munich, just for fun, because a small amount of money to risk, and if we win high odd of 6.1.
Okay, Radek, thank you and see you next week.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Now you have all the tips to bet in this new match day in the Bundesliga. Don't forget to leave your comments, and of course press the like button, subscribe to our channel and click on the bell to get notifications. And as I always tell you, we also have a podcast for you. Thanks for watching. Enjoy Bundesliga.